cold. All right, so today's video is gonna definitely be a turd muffin because we're not really doing a whole lot, but let me show you this guy's bike, bro. So I'm feeling super confident yesterday. I'm like, oh, I'm probably gonna do well, you know what I mean? But then this guy rolls up and his bike, this is like someone would race a crit on this, basically, right? Like, I mean, why do you have, what size is that?
We have 45.
And then an eagle in the back?
Yeah.
And then so your suspension is where?
Right up here. It's like 5, I think. 5 millimeters? I don't know, but it's sick, dude. You just...
And then you're running 33s.
Yeah. Yeah, we're fast.
You're gonna be flying. All right, so not much of an interesting day today. We're just kind of basically actually moving out of here. I should have booked this all the way through the weekend, but the event had gotten me a hotel for 2 nights. So, you know, we're gonna go there. But this is actually a really sweet setup, man. And if you're ever racing and you have an RV like this, dude, this is a good setup. But so today we're only doing maybe an hour spin. I'll tell you though, the amount of hitters that are here, Travis, just give me like a quick like list of like 10 murderers, killers.
There's just so many to name them off.
Yeah, he didn't do a really good job of that. No. But there are just extremely high level people. This is, I mean, again, like I said yesterday, there's all this speculation like, oh, you know, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that, or bro, it's gonna just be a poop pants effort until the finish line, and that's it.
I put like 2 layers of orange steel tape, and I threw a layer of like Gorilla tape on top of that, and then got that freaking tight.
Sick.
So it should be holding. We'll see what happens. Good luck.
So they didn't have the valve stem. They didn't have an 80 valve stem. So then we tried to get a valve stem with a valve stem connector or extender, but that didn't work because there was no threads on the end. So then they just ripped off a valve stem off an old tube, kind of got it jimmy rigged. You know, this is just one of those things like, why am I doing this the day before the race? We've been here for Tuesday. I'm so fortunate that I've got Travis here with me, dude, because he's such a mechanic and I have no idea what I'm doing, and so he just dials me in. Travis is clutch right now.
Should work.
All right. I've said this before, I've talked about this before, but having the right like crew around and the team, just across everything, right? Like my wife, even though she's not here, she is a part of the team because she's let me do this. But then to have him be just this mechanic and like he saved the spot line, like there's so much stress and so much issues that if you don't have to deal with it or if you have support, it's huge. Thank you, man.
Yep.
Yep.
P-I-E?
It should be P-E-A.
Nope. Yeah, well, I don't even have him registered.
P-Y-L-E-R.
Yeah, like, I'm not even finding you by first name. Kristen Pierce, okay.
So just this morning when I posted the video from yesterday, like one of the first comments was like, oh, I can't wait to see VC versus Dylan, bro science versus actual science. And then here he is in line.
Hey, what's up? It's just my name, Dylan Johnson, and it's science-based cycling. I'm a cycling coach, so a lot of it is coaching related, like, you know, how to set up a training week. Some of it's less coaching related, like, you know, crank length, that sort of thing, but it's usually diving into some sort of cycling topic, looking at the science at it.
So how important is the fitness score, you know?
So yeah, I've had clients that obsess about CTL, which on Training Peaks is fitness, and it's honestly, it's a little bit of a pet peeve of mine that they call that fitness, because while a higher CTL probably correlates with higher fitness, it's not necessarily the case. Like, for example, if you went bike touring and you rode 12 hours a day every day for like 2 weeks, your CTL would be through the roof, but if you get into a crit, you're gonna get smashed. But I think probably the biggest mistake that people make is that they're trying to string together too many high intensity days in a week. Like they think they just need to smash it every single day. And especially coming into a race, I think like that's the best thing to do. But you know, a lot of times that's what's gonna leave you with flat legs.
You know how sometimes you can talk to someone and you know if they're full of shit or not? Like, dude, everything he's saying is just like, you just know he knows what he's talking about. And then it makes me feel like, God, I'm an idiot. But that's very on brand for me. Anyway, I'm gonna try to beat you tomorrow, dude.
All right, man, it's on.
All right, so we're in a hotel for the next 2 nights. The RV setup, there's nothing wrong with it. I should have just actually stayed in that RV. We're getting ready to go for a little ride. Try to keep it about an hour, just kind of, stress test the bike. And then I want to go over the whole bike and show you the tires, the rims, the gearing, and all that sort of stuff. But for right now, let's go open up those legs. So in this tunnel, there was like my seat came off. That's, you want to say what's the worst possible thing could happen like 12 hours before the race?
So there's an electrical conduit in the middle that's about 3 inches tall.
Yeah, it's that little metal thing right there.
And of course, nobody's going to see it because you come in here and your eyes haven't adjusted.
Yeah, well, on the way down, it's not a bump, it's downhill.
Not good.
On the
Good to know that I really shouldn't sit on my seat that hard.
well, that's on the way back, so it's fine.
Bike's looking really good. It looks good. I mean, that's half the battle. You got to look good to do good. So 38s, the IRC Boken double cross, they roll really fast, even though they have some deep tread on them. It felt really good on the gravel. We only did a little bit of gravel today. It was like less than an hour ride, or right around an hour. We got the Princeton Carbons. There's a lot of flat. I mean, there isn't a whole lot of climbing on this. It's 6,000 feet of climbing over 125 miles. So, and then with headwind, aero wheels with the whale tail, that's super key. Gearing, we have an 1140 in the rear. In the front, we have a 2x, which is a 50-34. So 34-40, I've got plenty of gears. We've got the Goop, which is like a pressure, it's CO2 and sealant, and you just put it in your, like, right on your valve stem. So if you sprung a leak and it didn't need, a patch kit, this thing, I mean, you could be 15 seconds and you're back on. That could be a lifesaver. So I'm definitely running that. I'm running the Asayoma Farvero power pedals, 2 big bottles. I'll have another bottle in my pocket probably. I had to swap out the seat. I had the Cadex Ultra lightweight seat, but the rails and why my seat popped off was that they're not completely round. And this flip head, the suspension seat post, has to have round seat rails. It wasn't latching all the way. It totally looked like it. It felt like it, but you could see that it, give a good bump and that's gonna slip off. So I can't, that sucks that I have to switch my seat really like 12 hours before the race, but it is what it is. I'm so glad that it popped off right now, because how terrible would it if it popped off during the race. So now let's look at the nutrition. All right, so for nutrition, we're running Beta Fuel in 3 different bottles. This is 320 calories per pack, 80 grams of carbs. So if I do one of these and 1 gel an hour, that is 100 grams of carbs per hour for at least 3 hours, for the first 3 hours. I'm bringing a ton of salted strawberry SIS gels. So this has got some extra electrolytes in it. I don't really anticipate sweating a whole lot, but still, These are good. Then I've got 2 double caffeines, 150, so 300 milligrams of caffeine right here. I'm also busting out the secret weapon, ketones. I've never tried this company before. I bought this, not sponsored, but when I used the HVMN, it was slabbing on watts. Like, take whatever your power profile is, add 30, 40 watts to the whole thing. Really gnarly. On top of that goop thing, I've got some CO2 and a plug, amp lotion. And now it's time to rest. We're gonna try to get as much rest as possible. And right now it's, I don't have a watch on, but about 4 o'clock, it's 4:30. We need to be at the start line at 6:45, probably a wake up around 5:30. So like right now, dude, if I could try to get to bed by 6, but I'm gonna have to edit this video, so maybe like 8, that would be good. I know that this one is probably definitely a turd muffin. There was really not a whole lot going on today. And we were kind of bouncing around between a lot of things, but Travis has been such a humongous help. I can't even begin to tell you this kid is just a lifesaver. And it just shows me what a shit show I am. Dude, I have no idea what's going on ever, and he's so dialed. Like, he knows where we're supposed to be, when we're supposed to be there, what we're supposed to be doing. Travis is awesome. One thing though is that I won't have the race video up tomorrow, right? I won't have it up on Sunday. I have to give that one a proper couple days of an edit, and I have to drive back to California, about a 10-hour drive, Sunday. So I won't, there'll be a couple days before the actual race video is up. But anyway, I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the support, and as always, Vegan Cyclist. Yeah!